are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the higher level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. This shit is over.
I am inevitable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live back again in full effect. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome to Night and Day Network LLC. And we got to get into these topics. All right. I think you're playing some in the background.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, so we got to get into Pope Leo versus Donald Trump. They've been saying things back and forth about this Iran war. The Pope, publicizing that he's not in the support of the Iran war, that he wants peace. And you got Trump on the other hand saying this Pope is weak. He's a weak lib. He called him a weak libetard, saying he's weak, and and a whole other insults and stuff we got to get into. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let me pull this up. So 60 Minutes ran up on the Pope over there in Italy, I guess, and they asked him about the war in Iran. And he was real vocal about, wanting peace and not wanting no war. He not in support of, supposedly not in support of Israel and Donald Trump with this war. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, make sure y'all double tap the screen, like this video. Definitely appreciate it. All right, let me get y'all some sound real quick.
In March, we traveled to Italy and managed to ask Pope Leo a question about the war in Iran.
Holy Father, can I ask you what your hopes are for the Middle East?
I'm praying for peace. I hope that ceasefire would be the most effective way to work together, to find peace for all parties, to respect all parties, and to come to a solution, which is too many years and creating problems for everyone. So work for peace.
There he is.
All right, so that's the Pope saying he want peace. He don't want to, go to war with. He don't want the war going on in Iran. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Pope real quick. They, I guess, Associated Press interviewed him. A quick little interview in the plane on his plane. So let's get into it. And in fact, let me reshare this just in case the sound went out. Bro, you back? You don't hear nothing. I don't know if you're on mute.
Yo, could you hear me?
All right, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Yep, we can hear you now. All right.
The message of the gospel.
All right, poor internet connection.
Not shy away from announcing the message of the gospel, of inviting all people to look for ways of building bridges for peace and reconciliation, of looking for ways to avoid war anytime that's possible. To put my message on the same plane as what the president has attempted to do here, I think it's not understanding what the message of the gospel is. And sorry to hear that, but I will continue on what I believe is the mission of the church in the world. I do not look at my role as being politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loud against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states, to look for just solutions to problems. Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say, there's a better way to do this.
So that's Pope. The Pope basically saying he wants all the he wants all wars and all people that's got, he want reconcile. He want them all to reconcile with each other and be peace, and that's what he's saying he wants. So we're gonna get into Trump we gotta get into what Trump said on Truth Social. Trump posted on Truth Social a long as message taking shots the Pope at the Pope Leo. And by the way, this Pope Leo is like the first American Pope they recruited. So I guess he's from Chicago. This Pope is from Chicago, and he's the first American Pope they had over there. Let me see. All right, let me see if I can pull this up. All right. I think bro having internet connections issues. All right, so
Yeah,
Donald Trump posted, you back? All right, so Donald Trump
yeah,
posted
yeah, yeah.
this on his Truth Social. A picture of him supposed to be you know, portraying Jesus, basically mocking Christianity, because that's a whole part of the script as well. We got to make it like the Jews is against the Christians and the Muslims, and why do that look like Epstein right there? I think that's Epstein he got his hands on. So I don't know if he just taunting and shit, but that definitely looked like Epstein. That's crazy, ain't it?
It is.
That's Epstein.
It is. Yeah,
So
it is.
Right. So Trump posted on his Truth Social saying, so this is the Pope Leo. Pope Leo is weak on crime and a terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but does not mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding church services. Even when even when going outside and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brothers Lewis and I like his brother Lewis much better than I like him. He always likes somebody better than the next person. He always saying that. I like this person better than this person. He said because Lewis is all MAGA. So he likes the brother Lewis because his brother Lewis is all MAGA. So that y'all play yo stop with this scripted shit to us. So you got the brother supposed to be all MAGA, but then he's claiming that Leo is a lid. So y'all see the split they playing. You see the separatism they playing with this. So he continues to say he gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want the Pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a Pope who thinks it's terrible that an American attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, killers in our country. He said, and I don't want the Pope who criticizes the president of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected. He said, in a landslide to do, setting records low numbers in the crown and creating the greatest stock market in history. Really? You created the greatest stock market in history? When the fuck did he do that? Anyway, let's continue. I lost my place. Okay, he said creating the greatest stock market in history. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he is the shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be the Pope, and it was only put there by the church because he was an American, and they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald Trump. So he's talking to himself in third person, or is somebody else writing this shit? So he's saying basically they put the Pope in there to go at him. That's bullshit. He said if it wasn't okay, let me go down. He said if I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo, weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Alexrod and a loser from the left, who is one of the most who wanted, and she said one of those who are wanted churchgoers and I guess clerics of clerics to be arrested. He said Leo should get Hold on, all right, he said Leo should get together as the Pope and use common sense. Stop catering to the radical left and focused on being a great Pope, not a politician, hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church, President Donald J. Trump. So he's basically saying that the Pope was put in there to combat everything he's doing because he's put in there by the left, basically the left. That's not the case here. So you say they playing in our faces again and pinning the left against the right. Once again, we always tell y'all this split between the fucking Democrats and Republicans, it's all a game. Like, you really think the Pope really got, you know, beef with Trump or vice versa? Come on now. Come on now. This is political theater at its best, right in our faces. And then he got a nerve and you could tell he got a nerve because he's mocking Christianity with this picture. So that's right there shows you that this is all a game. This is all a game with him. So let's go ahead and get into his
Sure
response.
is WWE right in the flesh.
All right. So this is Donald Trump responding. They ran up on him with the camera and the microphone and did a little quick interview with him. So let's go ahead and get into it.
President Trump is blasting Pope Leo tonight following the pontiff's criticism about the war in Iran. In a post on social media, the president called the Chicago-born Pope weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. Trump writing that he does not want, quote, a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And he had more to say to reporters a short time ago.
I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world.
This morning, the Pope issued an urgent plea for peace in the Middle East. A few days earlier, he had rebuked the president for his remarks about Iran, saying it was, quote, truly unacceptable to threaten to wipe out a whole civilization. Cardinal Blase Cupich is tonight criticizing the White House for the way it has portrayed the war in Iran on social media. Cupich speaking to 60 Minutes about what he calls the gamification of the conflict.
We're dehumanizing the victims of war.
You called it sickening.
It is sickening. To splice together movie cuts with actual bombing and targeting of people for the purposes of entertainment is sickening. This is not who we are. We're better than this.
The White House has defended the video, saying they highlight the success of the U.S. military.
Are y'all better than getting those Catholic priests that's over there sexually molesting
President Trump
children?
is.
What about them lawsuits y'all got up to kazoo that date back 70-something years ago, where these people grew up and became adults saying they was molested by the Catholic Church? What happened with all that? But yeah, there's a lot of things that we can be speaking on because this stuff right here is all political. All right, so let's switch over to JD Vance. So JD Vance, Pentagon versus the Pope. See, this is a game, political theater. This is political theater. Really? The Pope versus Donald Trump?
The Pentagon versus the Pope. That you see how they package that? That's how you know it's scripted shit when they package
Vatican.
Because they control the media 100%. This is all. Just know that these guys are not against each other. They only doing it for the public. Same thing they did with the depositions when they had Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton sitting there answering questions about Podesta and the Pizzagate and all that, and it led to nothing. All they did was sit there and denied everything, and it led to nothing. This is all scripted for us, and they all really got one common goal. And they put puppets in there here and there to do so. Sometimes the puppets don't even know who's pulling their strings. They like that they like to do that too. Like the person don't even realize they're being controlled. And then some they know for sure, like Trump, he knows for sure he's being controlled. Yeah. This is literally them in their divide and conquer psychological warfare. That's what it is. It's divide and conquer. They want to divide. They want to make it Christians against Jews. That's what they want to do. Christians against Jews, Jews against Muslims.
Right. Play this real quick. We're gonna get right back into the commentary.
Disrespect to the cardinal, I don't.
Because let's see what this. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
X has been a buzz the last couple of days with the Free Press story, saying that senior Pentagon officials in January, including Rich Colby, brought Cardinal Pierre into the Pentagon.
Brought who?
Cardinal Christophe Pierre into the Pentagon.
I haven't seen the story, unfortunately.
And essentially the reporting by the Free Press is that they told him that the American military has a lot of might and they can do whatever they want, and the church should get on its side. Does that message sound correct to you? Is that something you would sign off on?
So one, I with no disrespect to the cardinal, I don't know who Cardinal Christophe Pierre is.
He's the ambassador to the Holy See and the U.S.
Oh, okay. I do. I've met him before. Sorry, I just didn't remember the name. I've never seen this reporting. I'd like to actually talk to Cardinal Christophe Pierre and, frankly, to our people to figure out what actually happened. I think it's always a bad idea to offer an opinion on stories that are unconfirmed and uncorroborated, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay. X has been a buzz the last couple of days with the Free Press story, saying that senior Pentagon officials in January, including,
like you said, bro, they're trying to keep the separatism going. They're trying to pin Jews against Christians and Muslims by using this Pope and Donald Trump, using Donald Trump to mock the Christians, and the Pope coming out saying he doesn't support the war. He doesn't support Israel and Iran and the whole war thing.
So in other words, there's no beef between the Pentagon and the Pope, like they say.
Right, just a way to keep the separatism going.
Yep.
We gonna
Really
call it out
with each other, y'all. Y'all gotta understand, these people are straight up actors. Like, these people are the Pope, Trump, Vance, Hillary, but these people are just, they say whatever they need to say to the people to keep their little shit that they doing behind the scenes. They present to us like they beefing with each other. They say, oh, Hillary and Bill must show up at the deposition. Oh, we got to take down Trump. All this stuff is all scripted for us. It's all scripted for us. And the end game is to keep us fighting amongst each other. Because you're going to have some people who's diehard Catholics that's going to be defending the Pope. And you're going to have some people diehard, Israel/Trump, MAGA. They're going to be just defending them. And then all that's going to happen is, while they really combining forces at the top, they're going to have us fighting amongst each other. The MAGA versus the Christian, and the Christian versus the Jew, and the Jew versus the Muslim, and the Muslim versus the Jew. And they got us arguing and fighting amongst each other while they basically taking all the resources, taking all the money, all the land, everything, and basically leaving us with nothing while we arguing amongst each other. That's what they do. They have us arguing amongst each other while they come in and they creep in there and they take everything. That's the psychology. There's no Pope versus the Pentagon. That's some bullshit.
Facts. And then you gotta think about it. One thing they ain't highlighting is it's mainstream. Whatever mainstream media push, we know it's scripted. We know 100% it's scripted, because anything real on there, they're not gonna show us anything real, because it will go against anything they trying to propaganda, trying to push propaganda upon us. It doesn't fit with the script, that the narrative that they want us to go along with. That's always been mainstream media tactic. Propaganda. We got to get the people to support this. We got to put this out. But they're not highlighting this. We seeing Jews protesting all over America against the Zionists. But you could tell it's a real movement because mainstream media is not pushing this, which is crazy to me. You would think that the media would push this, but it goes against the whole. They want to push the anti-Semitic narrative. This goes against the anti-Semitic theory that these Jews are actually protesting against the Jews over there, the Zionist Jews. So let's get into this real quick. Because the mainstream media ain't showing none of this at all.
Gathered here today, people from all backgrounds, to condemn this recent Zionist attack on Iran. an unprovoked attack where so many innocent civilians, men, women, and children, infrastructure has been attacked and brutalized. All of this is happening while we are witnessing over 20 months of genocide in Gaza. Shame! After 77 years of brutal, illegal occupation. We as Jewish people, we are embarrassed when all of this is being done, supposedly, in our name. And our religion is being misused to justify all these crimes. We are gathered here today.
The small hat community, right? The small hat community, saying they ain't supporting the Zionist movement. But it's always been
Bro,
like that,
these
though.
are the real Jews right here.
Well,
These
they're
are
the
people
real,
that's actually
right?
following their religion to the T, and not messing around with that Zionist movement, which is political. You gotta understand, there's people who infiltrated every religion. They infiltrated every there's groups of a group that basically infiltrated all the religions, y'all. Even though you might be devout Jew or devout Christian or devout Muslim, there's people who infiltrated your groups. And really, these people, you could call them the synagogue of Satan. You could call them, the mark of the beast or whatever you call them. But they infiltrated all y'all shit. Like, all y'all religions are infiltrated. They infiltrated everything. And these are the people that's creating problems. The people who's bombing up Palestine and bombing up Iran, those are Zionist Jews, and they're not real Jews. They're politicians and special interest groups using the guise of Jewish to commit crimes. And that's what these real Jews here are
Right.
saying. People who act devout to their religion, they are telling you that they've been infiltrated and they're embarrassed by the fact that they're using the name Jewish, but they're bombing up people, they stealing money, they doing all types of stuff under the name Jewish. So these people definitely can't be anti-Semites. They're Jewish. And they're telling you that the Zionists in Israel are wrong. They're telling you that the Zionists in Israel are wrong. So that can't be anti-Semitism.
Yeah, that's why the
Like I
mainstream
said,
media.
I'm in
Yeah.
all support of people who their religion is Judaism. That's fine. You could be Jew, you could be Christian, you could be Muslim. That's all good. That's all. You could do all of that. It's these political
Yeah, it's the
movements.
political. Yeah, it's the
That's the problem.
political. Yeah, when they start commercializing these religions and start making them political and putting these head figures ahead of these
Right.
organizations, that's where the problem came in. So like I said, the mainstream media is not going to push that Jews over here are protesting against Israel. Then the mainstream, that's like, don't show this on mainstream media, no, because this doesn't fit our narrative, which is crazy. But let me switch gears real quick. Let's get into this Michael T. Lester, and he basically breaks down the fact that Israel controls America 100%. Let's get into it. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Now you got reshare that, John. Somebody said all religion is made up to control people. Actually, not religion in itself wasn't made up to control people. It's just have started using religion to control people. But really, religion, they were spiritual systems that people used to live to basically create their culture. So it didn't start off like that. It didn't start religions didn't start off like that. They were spiritual systems that people use, but then it started to, they got infiltrated and they turned it into politics.
Same way with the ancient Egyptians, Kemet using not worshiping the signs and symbols, but using the symbols because that was the way nature, to basically translate, basically just, use nature to basically signs and symbols as to represent nature. And that's like the way God communicated with us through nature. It wasn't because people always say, "Yeah, they worship the sun." Nah, they didn't worship the sun. They just realized the sun was the energy source that powered the planet.
Right.
It wasn't about worshiping the sun. Because they was like, "Oh, this sun worship." Nah, it wasn't about worshiping the sun. All the ancient symbols you see over there in Egypt on the wall and all the hieroglyphics they use, that just represents nature. That was it.
Yeah, it was more about the spirituality concept of behind the sun, of how it gives
Right.
life and rebirth.
Facts.
Say,
More like a
and people
metaphor.
who a lot of people who's into Christianity, they idolize the human Jesus, the one that came in
Right.
as a human rather than the spiritual Jesus. So it's the same thing. Like the
Right.
same thing they blame the Egyptians of, they do the same stuff. And the thing is, like the pure people who know what the spiritual system is about of Christianity, they know it's really about the spiritual concept behind Christ, not the human or the political side.
Right.
The
But we ain't
human
gonna
and
get
the
too far
political
on.
side must
Right.
die.
Right.
Nah, but this is good to do because they trying to pin
Yeah,
Christians
they can't.
against
Right.
Muslims and Muslim. So it's good to talk about this stuff because
Hmm.
it expands on it, so we know that this political stuff, so we can spot the infiltrators, the
Facts.
bullshitters, the people who ain't
Facts.
real about their religion. They just say that they're Jews, and then if you don't like what they doing, they just call you anti-Semitic. Nah, they need to be fucking pointed out. Those people need to
Facts.
be cast aside and analyzed and be like, yeah, that's the bad guy. Those are the bad guys right
Point the
there.
finger and say that's
And
the
y'all gotta
bad guy.
understand. I see a lot of people, right? A lot of people even talk about, Freemasonry and all that. Even those groups were infiltrated because all those are spiritual systems. The knowledge behind Freemasonry in itself ain't bad. It's the infiltrators. It's the people who infiltrate that knowledge and use it to control people. Same thing with Christianity. Same thing with Judaism. Same thing with Islam. People infiltrating, taking the knowledge and using it as a weapon. And the thing that's most close to that is that Denzel movie was a good example. The Denzel movie, The Book of Eli, when the
I was just
antagonist
thinking about that.
that played by Gary Oldman, Gary Oldman, he wanted to use the Bible to control people, and it was Eli, Denzel Washington character, who was supposed to protect the Bible from people like that. That's what we have to understand. None of these groups are bad in themselves. Like the knowledge and there's nothing wrong with being Jew. There's nothing wrong with being Christian. There's nothing wrong with being Islamic. It's just that when you lose the concept of what it's supposed to be about to politicism, and that's the Zionist movement. When you politicize everything and you feed into the propaganda, that's basically when you're being controlled. That's when you're allowing them to control you. And that's all. That's it. That's all that is. They can't say that we anti-Semitic.
All right, so this is Michael T. Lester basically saying how our America is occupied by, it's not APAC, but it's the whole Zionist movement. Let's get into it though real quick.
Our country is occupied.
Who do you think we're occupied by?
APAC.
A lot of people think that.
The evidence is all there. We send $18 billion a year to Israel. Why? Just ask the question, what do we get out of it?
Nothing.
We get nothing. Are we doing humanitarian work? No, they're charged with genocide. They're killing off Palestinians. Are we helping them survive? Oh, they've got a higher standard of living than we do, a longer lifespan than we do, free education, free housing, free healthcare, but we're sending them money. Why? Ask yourself why a U.S. congressman can wear an Israeli military uniform in congressional chambers. I would think that would be an act of treason, but they did. Nobody said anything. I have difficulty looking at that in any other way than we're occupied. I think our country is occupied.
Play
Yeah,
that
that's
one more
crazy.
time.
One
People
more
need
time.
to hear this shit.
Who do you think we're occupied by?
APAC.
A lot of people think that.
The evidence is all there. We send $18 billion a year to Israel. Why? Just ask the question, what do we get out of it?
Nothing.
We get nothing. Are we doing humanitarian work? No, they're charged with genocide. They're killing off Palestinians. Are we helping them survive? Well, they've got a higher standard of living than we do, a longer lifespan than we do, free education, free housing, free healthcare, but we're sending them money. Why? Ask yourself why a U.S. congressman can wear an Israeli military uniform in congressional chambers. I would think that would be an act of treason, but they did. Nobody said anything. I have difficulty looking at that in any other way than we're occupied. I think
That's crazy because Israeli, authority figure wearing their gear inside the Congress chambers of America is crazy. Yeah, you never seen no stuff like that before, right? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's basically showing you, that the America, for the simple fact we sending them billions of dollars a year, and we of our tax dollars, we don't get free healthcare and free stuff like that. We have to pay for up to kazoo for our healthcare. Meanwhile, we sending them money to pay for their free healthcare. We ain't getting nothing off of that. We're not getting anything in return off sending money over there to them. We're not. We're not. It's just simple and plain. We're not.
In case y'all want to know, for reference, that was an interview. That was an interview with Sean on a Sean Ryan show. He interviewed Michael T. Lester, who is a military pilot. So there's Michael T. Lester interview with Sean Ryan on the Sean Ryan show.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that proves
show.
that they're occupying America. That definitely proves that they occupying America. This dude here basically dressed in an Israeli, military uniform.
Military, right? Like, why would a Israeli military be inside of America in Congress? A lot of that shit fly over the people. People really don't. A lot of that shit fly over people's head. They don't see nothing wrong with that because the mainstream media is not pointing it out. See, that's the thing. Mainstream media is never going to point out things like that. They're not, because they're not put there to do that. The mainstream media is there to feed us the propaganda and the story and the narrative they want us to follow. Because why when the mainstream media point out the fact that it was an Israeli soldier amongst Congress, why would they not put that out there?
Our servicemen definitely been coming out about this.
Right.
You had a lot of people from the military coming out about how we over there for Israel and they ain't messing with it. And the mainstream media barely report on all the soldiers and all the servicemen who's not rocking with this whole invading Iran for Israel agenda. They're not doing it. They ain't showing you the real Jews who's standing up against Israel's Zionist movement. Like, there's Jews out here that's not supporting what Israel is doing at all. And it's quite a bit of them. And the mainstream media do not report on those people because they want to keep pushing that. Oh, if you're against anything Israel do, you automatically label anti-Semitic, which is crazy. Because I have no problem with Jews. I have no problem with Judaism. I have no problem with Christianity. I have no problem with Islam. I am not anti-Semitic. I will embrace a Jewish person. I would embrace Christian. I would embrace Muslim. I don't care about none of that. I care about the character of the person. They can't push that and that's how they getting people, trying to push that anti-Semitic bullshit. Trying to say that people are anti-Semitic just because they don't want Israel invading countries and bombing up places.
Right.
That's psychological warfare. That's what you call psychological warfare, by them trying to fly under the banner of a victim. Oh, we the victim Jews, Zionists, Even though we own all the media, we own most of the businesses around the world, but we the victims. We're Zionists and we're the victims, and boo-hoo, everybody's attacking us, so we got to go and kill them first. That's basically, and if you got a problem with it, you're anti-Semitic. That's Israel in a nutshell.
Trying to basically
That's
guilt
the
people into
Zionists
shit.
that's running Israel. That's their mindset. Guilt everybody. Say
Guilt
that
everyone.
if you don't like us bombing up elementary schools and bombing up schools and stuff, then you're anti-Semitic. That's insane to me. That's crazy manipulation right there. That's crazy manipulation.
That's it,
That's
and that's what
crazy.
shows you that Congress sold us out, man. They've been sold us out. For them to even support it, a lot of them been blackmailed probably on the Epstein files anyway. A lot of them has been blackmailed by people like Epstein, been sending women in there to basically pillow talk with them, get them in compromising positions so they can use it against them. That's why Congress are not speaking out against none of this shit. They're not getting no type of resistance from Congress at all. None. They be called Trump crazy for asking for $1.5 trillion for a military fund. They should be like, well, the country doesn't have that to give. Like they not fighting against it at all. They not like, what's going on? What's up with our Congress? They all bought and paid for it, man. They are all bought and paid for it. But I wanted to get into this because we ain't letting Vatican and Pope and them off neither. Because I don't give a shit that him and Trump going back and forth with each other. They all part of the same wicked ass system. So let's get into this Jordan Maxwell video, basically pointing out that the Pope is, he's the head of all organized crime. He's the bosses of all bosses. Let's get into this real quick. Make sure y'all smashing that like button, double tap the screen, like this video. If you want a horizontal, make sure you click the like button. Let's get into it.
Very extremely powerful secret society in England called the Order of the Garter. Many people think it's like a woman's garter. No, it was the guards who guarded the powers in England. They guard the powers. They are like a mafia, underworld organization. International maritime admiralty law, the law of international banks, is based on Vatican canon law. This is why the Vatican has a Swiss guard. The Swiss guard the Pope. Why? Because it's symbolic. The Switzerland, which is the home of international banking, is guarding the Pope because he's the boss of all bosses. Mafia bows before the Pope. International drug traders bow before the Pope. The Pope is probably one of the most fierce, diabolical people the world has ever known. The Vatican is a symbol of world criminal, world empire. And if the Protestants think that they have protested against Rome and gotten something cleaner and better, you've got another thing coming, because 99% of Protestantism came directly out of the Vatican Catholic Church, and neither one of them are worth a damn before God. It's very, very extremely powerful secret society in England called the Order of the Garter,
which is all ran by the black nobility family, the Orsinis, the Medici, and all these big black nobility families. Not only that, they showed you that in Godfather Part 3. Remember they showed you that in the movie Godfather Part 3 when Michael went over there and met with the these ministers over there in Vatican. I think they called it immobilarity or something like that. I think that was Godfather Part 3 for y'all that seen that. It was basically showing you that in that movie. Mm-hmm.
And the
Not
Pope,
only that,
the office of the Pope is a puppet office, because the black nobility controls that office, but then there's the real popes are behind the Pope that they give us on the public, because you got the gray Pope and the black Pope, and these people handle all the underground underworld stuff, and the Pope that we see every day, that Pope just handles the media cover. You know what I mean? Just just to keep the people occupied with the media and all of that. They just the face or the actor that they. And the same thing with the presidents here in
Right. He
the
always got
United States.
representative. Right.
All them presidents, they just put there just to appease the people, just to put on a performance. Yep, just to put on
Right.
a performance. But they're all being instructed what to do behind the scenes. They make us think that these people are the all powerful ones. We think it's Trump in America that's making these decisions. Trump ain't making none of these decisions. These decisions were already made for the Oval Office before Trump got in there. Trump is
Yeah.
just following a script that was left in there when he basically took off. Same thing with the Pope.
Right.
These people are not really in control. They're not.
Right. Orsini is the
And to
great.
tell you the
is
truth, you
great
know who
Pope.
controls the intelligence agencies control. Yup, Orsini is the great Pope. Facts.
He's the great Pope.
You know who's controlling most of these offices, like the office of the Pope and the office of the Oval Office. The intelligence agencies are controlling them shits.
Right.
They the ones that keep them all in line to make sure they following the script the way they supposed to.
Right.
Because their type of organized crime is way different than anything we've ever seen. Their organized crime is the epitome of organized crime. Everybody must follow scripts that they cannot get. Soon as you step out of that script a little bit, they taking you out. Same thing they did with JFK. JFK didn't want to follow the script, so they took him out. The CIA took JFK out because he didn't want to follow the script. In fact, RFK Jr. already said that when he was a kid, he witnessed his uncle and his father basically fighting with the CIA all the time. People from the CIA would come over to the White House and all that type stuff, and they'd be arguing because JFK didn't want to support the stuff that the CIA was doing at the time.
Because it wasn't benefiting America.
Or
It wasn't
Robert
benefiting America.
Kennedy.
Oh,
Yeah. Facts.
They realized they same thing Charlie Kirk stumbled upon and started speaking out against. We're gonna get into that. That's another live stream we're gonna get into.
Yep.
The real reason why Charlie Kirk was killed. We're gonna get into that.
Facts.
Because that was their boy at one time. They was propping him up to be the next president. So why would they take him out? Because it was
This is
something he
all a
stumbled
script.
upon.
It's all scripted,
Right.
y'all.
But I wanted to get into this since the people don't know who the real Pope is. It's not It's not Pope Leo. He's not the real Pope. That's the representative. But this great Pope right here, Orsini, Pepe Orsini, the great Pope. This is the real Pope behind the scenes that nobody really ever talks about. You're probably never going to see him in the mainstream media.
This man controls the entire world. Many people know about the Pope, but what if he's not the only Pope? Rumor has it that there are 3 popes in existence: the White Pope, which everyone knows, the Black Pope, and the Gray Pope, each trumping each other in terms of power. The White Pope is the leader of the Vatican Church, and the Black Pope is the leader of the Society of Jesuits. However, when it comes to the Gray Pope, it is a whole different story. Well, you'll see. The Gray Pope, or more commonly known as Pepe Orsini, is the latest heir from a long bloodline of black nobility that are the movers and shakers behind world control, with their dynasty going way back to even Babylonian times. Today, they are the world's most powerful family, heading the Illuminati, with even the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers reporting to them. But not many people know he controls the entire world. Many people know about the Pope, but what?
Pepe Orsini, part of the Orsini dynasty, dating back, and they make sure they keep their they bloodlines, consistent. Many people don't know that.
And they control all sides. They make it look like the Catholic Church is against Israel and what they doing. This all scripted for us. Because
Somebody said
that
Pope,
type of
Pope
stuff,
conspiracy, you must be bored. Nah, it ain't that. It's just you see Trump and this Pope Leo guy going back and forth, where that's just political theater. We're pointing out political theater. It's not about the Pope conspiracy. You got to look at what we're talking about overall, that these people are all on the same side. There's really no split.
Right.
They just use propaganda so they can keep people separate. You know what I mean? So they can keep groups
Right.
separated. Their whole thing is practicing separatism. That's all the fuck they deal with is practicing separatism because they can't have a lot of people knowing about and being on one accord when it comes to them because they know that's going to shatter everything they do. That's going to shut down their system. So for you to say
Yep.
Pope conspiracy, you must be bored. Then you must just not. You must just come in here and not listening to things overall. You just
Right.
pretty much just coming in here being like an agent for them.
That's basically what they're doing, bro.
Yeah, like you following the propaganda.
Whether they know it or not. That's the
Yeah,
Matrix
right.
shit. That's symbolically what the Matrix was about because people can turn into an agent at any time because they're influenced by the mainstream media in a psychological warfare. That's the whole concept of an agent. And the concept of the simulation is actually just how everybody's programmed to social structure that was put before us by these people who's been ruling over us, by these black nobility aristocratic families who've been basically setting the standard for society for centuries now.
Right.
And the thing is they control society through every aspect of our lives. It's not like, oh, these people just started the Vatican. They started the Vatican, Islam, and I'm talking about the political side of those not the actual religion itself, but the political side of it. Like the Zionists and all that shit came out of these aristocratic families. They all designed and they all came together. And at one point they were in fighting. But then they realized they'd be able to control the world better if they came together and joined forces and intermarry. And that's what they've been doing throughout the years. Intermarrying, combining forces, and their goal is to always keep the general public divided, no matter what. So they will play all sides. They will make you think that they anti this and they will play all sides. So they're both behind this Trump and Pope beef. They behind both sides. They control both sides. They do the same thing with the wars. They control both sides of the war. Like as far as like Palestine, Palestine, the Hamas that came out of Palestine is basically on the payroll the same that the Israeli army is on and Mossad. They all the same.
Right.
It's all the same company because Hamas is literally being funded by Israel. Like they love creating these thing like Osama bin Laden and all that shit was connected to the Pentagon and all of that and the CIA with the knowing that Osama bin Laden real agent name was Tim Osman. This dude was literally CIA at one point. That it's all a game. And then they got America. Yeah, we got to take down Osama bin Laden for the World Trade Centers. And here, the whole Osama bin Laden family was having dinner at the White House with Bush and all of them. Like it's so fake. They present it to us so fake, and they be so cool behind the scenes and intermarrying and starting business projects together while keeping us divided. That's what we have to get through our heads. The people have to put their differences aside because that's where the war is at. That's the they call it psychological warfare. And that's what they do to us through the mainstream media. Psychological warfare. Somebody mentioned that Epstein was at the White House 18 times. Right. During the administration. That goes to show you. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with Epstein. And then he magically offs himself in a facility that is damn near impossible to off yourself in. He offed himself all of a sudden. He's the enemy all of a sudden when he was literally at the White House 17 times. The Bin Ladens was at the White House even during the time people were looking for Bin Laden. It's crazy. And Bin Laden worked for the CIA because when they was running operations from Afghanistan against Russia. Bin Laden was one of the agents and shit. Like it's insane. It's insane how they create these fake enemies that they fund, they create, and they use these people to do all types of havoc, but really, and then act like they going against them, but really they the ones that created them. That's insane. But that's the type of shit that they do. They go far and wide to keep their power structure in place.
Right.
They do whatever they need to do to keep their power structure in place, even if it means playing all sides.
Yeah, this shit is chess. So we gotta get into this what's her name again? I forgot this chick name, but she's saying basically whoever's coming up against Israel is gonna be on basically on a hit list. If you're coming up against Israel, this is you basically gonna get you'll targeted if you're coming up against Israel. So they don't even want nobody speaking out against. They don't want nobody criticizing or speaking out against Israel. But you can't do that. You can't play like that in America. People don't give a fuck about you saying we can't speak on Israel. We're going to criticize Israel whenever we want, whenever we have to, because what they doing over there is just not right. Committing genocide, and they got this straw broom head ass president saying he ready to nuke a whole country on their behalf with our tax dollars. No, we didn't ask for y'all to nuke no country or commit genocide using our tax dollars. So they think they ain't supposed to meet no resistance at all, and they commit all types of atrocities and war crimes against humanity, but not faced any blowback. Y'all crazy as hell for that.
Her name is Leora Rez.
Leora Rez.
Leora Rez. She's the founder and executive director of the Stop the Anti-Semitism movement.
Yeah, see, nah, they ain't don't try to use anti-Semitism to basically go against so y'all can use that to keep committing genocide and war crimes against humanity. Nah, we speaking out on that shit because we ain't anti-Semitic because we speaking out on that. You got it wrong.
I would now like to welcome to the stage Leora Rez, founder and executive director of Stop Anti-Semitism, a watchdog organization that publicly exposes anti-Semitic behavior.
A watchdog organization to expose anti-Semitic behavior. So y'all really out here watching people that speak out against Israel? So the fuck what? We say what the hell we want to say. Like, yo, what are we giving these people the balls just to think they could just rule the world and tell people what to do and say, no, we can't be criticized for anything we doing. Who the hell died and made y'all God?
Consequences for those who espouse bigotry toward the Jewish people. Leora?
What they talking about? We're going to end up calling her one.
Tonight, I speak not just about a problem, but an actual fight. A fight that the Jewish community did not choose, but one that we are now fully engaged in, confronting the global explosion of Jew hatred, unleashed since the attacks of 10/7. Stop Anti-Semitism was built for this. For years, we exposed hate, pressured institutions, and delivered consequences. But after 10/7, the scale of threat and the urgency of our mission changed dramatically overnight. Since that day, we have featured more than 1,000 anti-Semites on our platforms. 1,000. Not theorized about them, not quietly documented them, featured them publicly, clearly, and with evidence. The results speak for themselves. Approximately 400 of these Jew haters have faced real consequences, including firings, suspensions, and expulsions. More than 300 of them remain in an active investigatory state across universities, corporations, DEI departments, unions, hospitals, nonprofits, and yes, unfortunately, federal government agencies.
I bet you in the investigation, I bet you they just found that people just ain't supporting the war. They're not supporting the Zionist movement, and that's what they deem as, anti-Semitic. Because nobody wants to go along with the shit. That's what it
Crazy.
is. Right. That's what it is.
And yes, 5 arrests to date tied directly to threats and violence of anti-Semitic conduct we helped expose. This is what accountability looks like. This is what action looks like. This is what pushing back hard looks like against the tidal wave of hate that has consumed the United States and global population.
What about the Zionist hate for Palestine? Why are they bombing the country and trying to take over the land? What about that? That's not hate. That's not a hate crime. That's not a hate crime, y'all. What is this lady talking about? Investigating people for what?
From our founding, Stop Anti-Semitism has operated on one guiding belief. Anti-Semitism thrives when there are no consequences. So we created consequences, a lot of them. We created visibility. We turned the spotlight towards those who targeted on our community, making silence impossible. On campuses where Jewish students were hunted through libraries, where professors glorified Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists, where mobs shut down our buildings and administrators hid under desks, we stepped in. We documented the offenders. We worked with attorneys, lawmakers, and victim families, and we ensured the message was not mistakable. If you target Jewish students, your actions will not disappear into the darkness. We will shine a light on you that, thanks to Google and SEO, will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented. Again, thanks to Google and SEO. In corporations where DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas, we pressured CEOs. Some resigned, many were terminated, but policies were changed, thankfully, from governmental to art institutions. Online, where anonymous accounts spread violent threats, we traced patterns, elevated evidence, and worked with authorities, leading to arrests from Florida, South Carolina, New York, California, and Texas. And we're not slowing down, sadly. Today, Stop Anti-Semitism, I'm proud to say, runs one of the most robust anti-Semitic enforcement operations in the United States, monitoring campuses, digital networks, activist groups, and public officials, documenting incidents in real time and mobilizing millions of people, of allies that are quietly by our side. But the fight is bigger than the exposure, and it's about securing a future where Jewish students can walk across a quad without being screamed at, a future where employers understand that anti-Semitism is not activism, it's bigotry, and it will cause you to lose your job. A future where fact, not propaganda, shapes policy. A future where global institutions, from Google to Chat GPT, from governments to universities to media, finally treats Jew hatred with the serious of other minority-targeted hate. To get there, we need 3 things.
Dang, we don't support anybody, no hate groups on anybody. But we got to put the focus on where the focus needs to be. Because this propaganda that they so heavily push upon the people to accept this shit is crazy. We not supporting, just because we don't want to support y'all bombing other countries doesn't make, that don't put us make us anti-Semitic by default because we don't want to support y'all movements. We're not on with, you have Jewish people that's not in line with the Zionist movement. They just don't support it. So You're going to call them anti-Semites? The Jewish people that don't, the day-to-day Jew that don't support the Zionist movement, are they anti-Semitic too? According to that's because that's
Bro,
basically what
there's
they're
no
saying.
one going around. There's no one going around in the United States attacking no
Heck,
Jews,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no,
Ain't nobody going around
no.
attacking no Jews. See, these are the aggressors making this stuff up, so they can claim victim, so they can go after people, so they can say, oh, we could go after you now because you anti-Semitic. Now we could come after you. We could investigate you. We can track you on Google. We could
Right,
do all it like this surveillance state, and they flying under the under the victimhood flag, like they're
right.
victims when they own all the media and all that shit. They own all the these Zionists, and I ain't even talking about the day-to-day Jewish person. I'm talking about the Zionists. The Zionists got so much political power, so much that nobody ain't attacking them. Nobody's attacking them. Nobody's attacking them.
Yeah, they're not seeing any type of attack. People are
Fuck no.
being vocal about that. They're not supporting that movement. They're not supporting the attack on Palestine.
Those
They're
are the
not
people
supporting.
that they going after.
Right. They're not supporting the attack
Who's
on
militarizing?
Iran.
So this anti-Semitism movement that this woman is talking about is basically the Messiah, because they able to attack all your. They able to basically do advanced surveillance on you through Google, through everything you're saying, and document and get you fired and all that. Then that's the Mossad. Then that's an intelligence agency, which means this is more psychological warfare. They going after people who don't agree with Israel attacking Palestine or Iran. That's who they're surveillancing, and they planning on doing harm to, and then creating these false narratives saying that they're physically attacking people in universities and all that. No, they're not. There's nobody ain't attacking no Jews and no universities. And if y'all say attacking is basically because they disagreeing with their opinion, then that's crazy. Then the same very people you saying you claiming victimhood from is the same people that you're becoming. Because I remember someone else who used to move like this, how the Israelites is moving right now. You remember somebody from Nazi Germany? They seem like that's how they moving. Because this is basically how the Nazi party moved. Y'all basically using the same tactics. So you became your enemies. That's basically what you did. You literally became your enemies. You're literally using the same tactics that was used against you. Now you're using it on the public. And this is not the day-to-day Jewish person. These are the Zionist Jews, the ones who are politically influenced and being controlled. And we know who's behind them. We know who's behind them. It's the central banks that's behind them. We already did the education on that on our last live stream about how Walter Rothschild was ahead of the Zionist movement, and he helped set up the 1948 Israeli city state, which occupied Palestine to this day.
Right.
The Zionist movement in Israel is not the Jews that you see every day. They're not the same. They're not the same. The Zionist movement Jews are not devout. They're not devout Jews that's actively um practicing their religion to a T. Nah, these are political people only in there for political gain and power over people. That's all they care about. They're being exposed, man. And they're being
Big time.
exposed, and they trying to create the narrative that they're the victims. By us exposing them, they try to make it look like we the aggressors and they're the victims, when really they're the ones that's committing all the mass genocide and using the name Jewish to do it. which is sickening. That's sickening to real Jews out there who's actually devout to their religion and their culture. These Zionist pricks, they're sickening. They're literally the cancer of real Jews.
And they need to
They need to be
continue
cut off.
on
They
being
need to be
exposed.
cut out. Yep, they need to be cut out because they're cancerous. No more. We don't want no more of this. No more of this.
Expose.
Right.
They're going to continue to get exposed.
Things, action, real action as I listed, accountability, relentless vigilance, because anti-Semitism does not take breaks. It doesn't wait for elections. It doesn't disappear because we are exhausted and tired. And when I tell you myself and my team are exhausted and tired, that's the least of it. Stop anti-Semitism has never been more essential, more strategic, or more effective than it is now. But we cannot do this alone. The demand, the volume of tips, the number of investigations, sadly, it continues to grow instead of decrease. If we want a safer future for the Jewish people, this is the moment to stand together and act. We have to push harder to make it clear that Jewish safety is a non-negotiable. Tonight, I'm asking you to always be in the fight with us, not just in spirit, but in true action. Participate in calls to action. Write letters to your governmental officials. Speak to the teachers and the college administrators that are making, if it's not your friends and kids, it's making other community members feel unsafe. When we act, lives change. And anti-Semites learn, sometimes for the very first time in their lives and history, that targeting Jews will come at a price. And
I want to call you one. I want to call you one. Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog head bitch.
That's what you talk about. What are you talking about? Yeah, all this fucking political theory shit. Yeah. Somebody said long. Yeah. Yeah, they're not gonna win against Iran with that war shit. Yeah, they're not gonna win. Sorry to tell people, but it's just not meant to be. It's not. I want to see.
They need to lose to the people. They don't need to lose to Iran. They need to lose to the people in general. The people need to wake up to this falsehood that these fake Jewish Zionists that's flying under the banner of Jewish and committing mass genocide. That's what needs to get defeated. That's what needs to continue to get exposed. And we need the real Jews out there to step up and expose those Zionists sitting over there in Israel that's controlling Israel. They giving you a bad name. But those of us, just know there's some of us that still have common sense and know it's not all Jews that's doing this.
Right.
And shit, we far from anti-Semitic. What the fuck? Anti-Semitic? We don't hate nobody, especially because of a religion or a culture. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. Because I know it's not them. It's the same thing with the day-to-day gay person don't support the LGBTQ shit. It's real gay people out there that hate that LGBTQ movement.
Yeah.
Because they know
Yeah,
it's all fake shit.
Yeah, it's political.
Yeah, it's
they're not into that.
Yeah, you got gay people that's not fucking with LGBTQ. I don't even know the fucking letters. What LGBTQ, whatever the fuck. They not messing with it. Real gay people ain't even fucking with that. Just like real Jews ain't even fucking with this Zionist stuff that's going on in Israel. And we need more of that. Ain't got nothing to do with hating gays. Ain't got nothing to do with anti-Semitism. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
Just
This is
like
just
all
print.
black people don't hate, just like all black people don't hate rednecks, and all rednecks don't hate black people. It's all propaganda. They want all of us to fight amongst each other. That's all that is. They want all of us to fight amongst each other. And once we get over that shit and realize that's the psychological warfare that they holding against us, then we'll be able to beat these characters.
Yeah, you got to hold the individual accountable. I mean, you can't base because one person is one way that they all like that. Like you got to deal with people on an individual basis. So I mean, just because this person might call a black person an NIGGER doesn't mean all of them call black people NIGGER. That's not even realistic. So you have to deal with people on personal experiences and individuality. That's how you deal with this. You know what I mean, you can't group, and that's the thing. That's how they're able to conquer because they group everybody together. Or they say, yeah, all black people is lazy and don't want to work. And like, why y'all? What's up with the stereotypes?
Right.
You know what I mean? This the whole stereotype. Let me see what this broom straw head ass nigga talk about. Donald Trump addresses the photo.
Black folks try to say all white people are colonizers, which isn't true.
Yeah, like it's the stereotypes. Let me see what he talking about. He addressing this picture that he posted on True Social. Let's see the bullshit that come out of his mouth real quick.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
All right, so let's see who he making better. All right, so this is him saying he's a doc. Is he dressed like a doctor, or is he dressed like Jesus?
He's dressed like Jesus with the healing hands.
Healing, but who is that? But who is that he healing? That's Jeffrey Epstein. Healing. Yo, Trump, stop playing around with this taunting the people, bro. He trolling them.
And he said for the Red Cross, there's no Red Cross sign nowhere near. Where you see the Red Cross sign at? He said it's him and the Red Cross. Where the Red Cross logo at? I don't see the Red Cross logo. Do y'all see the Red Cross logo? It look like he's dressed up like Jesus with the healing hands, and he's sitting there healing Epstein on a bed.
That's y'all MAGA president, MAGA. Y'all responsible for this, MAGA,
bro.
We're putting it all on the MAGAs. Y'all did this. He literally said he dressed like a doctor. What doctor is he in? A doctor robe or doctor uniform? What doctor is he supposed to be? Who is he? Who the hell is he healing? What doctor is he healing? I mean, he said he's a doctor. Oh, he's a doctor now. Let me put y'all favorite video back there.
He claimed he healed a lot of people. Who the hell did he heal?
This guy said he's a doctor. Blow this up a little bit more for y'all. Blow this up a little bit more for y'all. Let me go back so he can explain this shit again.
President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Once again, is he dressed like a doctor, y'all? He's dressed like a Jesus character healing Jeffrey Epstein.
Who did he make better? He said he makes people better.
He made Jeffrey Epstein better.
He got him out of prison, right?
Yeah. Where he said Red Cross. Like, where is Red Cross at anywhere in this image?
Nowhere to be found. There's no Red Cross. He brought up the Red Cross, and there's no Red Cross logo nowhere in this post. You got the American flag back there. You got eagles flying around. You got Epstein laying on the bed. You got nurses. around.
You got demons coming out the back and the clouds. Demons with wings and shit. Like, come on, man. Come on, Trump,
This is
man.
insane, y'all.
Come on, man.
They playing with this is all psychological warfare. And the thing is, he posts this up when he have a problem with the so-called have a problem with the Pope.
Yeah, right.
Like he's being an antagonist, but he don't want to come right out and say that because then that make his ratings go down.
Right.
If he said that he was acting like Jesus, he realized that wouldn't be as smart. But he was subliminally implying that. He was implying that subliminally that he's Jesus and he's healing the nation, specifically Epstein. Because that's clearly Epstein laying in that bed.
That's Epstein laying in that bed.
Yeah, that's literally a picture of Epstein right there. That's insane to me. Like they throwing it in our faces.
MAGA, what y'all got to say to this? MAGAs, where y'all at in here, MAGA-tards? What do y'all have to say about Trump? Trump posted this picture of himself as Jesus, healing Epstein laying on the bed. What y'all think of that?
MAGA-tards.
He literally posted this and said, "I'm a doctor." Well, you know, I just me dressed like a doctor. I just thought I was a doctor and healing people. Yeah, I heal people. He healed who? Somebody said I was MAGA until I see this shit. Yeah, he came out his own mouth that he posted this. Now he's mocking Christianity is what he's doing. That's what he's really doing.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Because he's messing with the Pope. The Pope is speaking out against the Iran war, and he's mocking Christianity by calling himself Jesus and healing people. But that's Jeffrey Epstein laying on that bed. That's crazy to me. People ain't even pointing out the fact that's Jeffrey Epstein laying on the bed.
They damn sure not. They damn sure
Nobody's pointing that out. Like everybody's posting about this picture he's posted, but nobody's saying that. Hey, that's Jeffrey Epstein laying.
I gotta put this up here on the screen real quick. Someone did it.
Right.
I was MAGA until this shit. We had to put that on the screen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Put that up.
Wake up, y'all. This shit ain't it. And don't leave MAGA-tards and join the libtards because they just as bad.
Yeah. The libtards.
Don't leave
the
dumpsters and go over to Hillary Clinton and all them and Kamala Harris, the laughing hyena and Sleepy Biden. Don't go over there. That shit is just as bad over there too.
We need
Don't go over there.
We need a people's party that's just strictly for the people. That's what we need. We don't need no more Democrat parties or Republican parties. We need people's party. That's what we need. The people's party is what we need.
Yeah, but they infiltrate that.
Yeah, they send some celebrity. Yeah, they send some celebrity in there or some.
And don't forget about Mossad agent.
Yeah.
They send a celebrity, but they send a Mossad agent first. They send a couple of people from the Mossad, a couple of people from the FBI, a couple of people from the CIA, and they develop a task force to take down that type of organization.
Yeah, they always infiltrate. All right.
Yeah, and they join forces. You know, they have somebody from Canadian intelligence, somebody from Mossad, somebody from MI6. Like they actually create a whole task force. That's what they do. They brag about shit like that through TV shows and all that. Watch something called The Blacklist. They show you how they operate. They work with the terrorists. They act like they chasing them, but they be working with them at the same time.
All right.
It's crazy.
That's your boy Donald Trump posted a picture of himself as Jesus, healing Epstein on the bed. He posted that himself on Truth Social. Let me bring it back though. Let me bring it back so y'all can see why. This is why he said he directly posted this picture. So that's Trump really posting on his Truth Social. That's himself posting on there. Anything on there posted, that's him doing it himself. So all he do is eat McDonald's, drink Coke, and post on Truth Social. And play golf.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, "How did they come up with that?" It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Mr. President.
Where's his stethoscope? Where's the, you know what I mean? Where's his mask at? Where is his doctor? Where's his doctor? Where's his scrubs at? This dude wearing a cloak from Jesus's times with the healing hands. How is that fake news that people said that you're trying to depict yourself as Jesus when you literally dress in a robe like Jesus and you got the healing hands? You literally got halos coming out of your hands and shit. You got the glow. Like you literally got the glow. Right, coming out of your hands, touching the head of Jeffrey Epstein, laying on a medical bed.
Yeah, he healing Epstein on the bed is crazy to me. People ain't even peep that shit neither. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture of this shit for y'all. I'm gonna blow this shit up a little bit bigger. Pause. Hold on. Let me see if I can post this shit a little bit bigger for y'all. Pause. Man, to go in.
Fake news. He always talking about fake news.
Fake
How
news.
is it fake news? And he said he posted this up. He just said out of his own mouth that he posted it up, but he wasn't depicting himself as Jesus. He was depicting himself as a doctor. When clearly that's Jesus in this picture. That's Trump as Jesus, playing a role as Jesus.
We'll blow this John up so y'all can see it real quick.
Is that not Trump playing the role of Jesus? Is that not Jeffrey Epstein laying in that bed?
Wow.
He said this is linked to the Red Cross. Where's the Red Cross? Where's the Red Cross logo at?
Red Cross ain't got nothing to do with it.
If this was linked to the Red Cross, then the Red Cross logo would be somewhere on the damn screen. Right. There's no one there. There's no ambulance in the back with a Red Cross on there. There's no, the flag in the back is the American. No Red Cross on that. Right. No Red Cross on his cloak. How is this directed towards the Red Cross? This is you depicting yourself as Jesus Christ, and you're healing Jeffrey Epstein.
Y'all MAGA. Y'all love
Y'all
Trump.
see these MAGA-tards? MAGA-tards. Here they come. Here come the MAGA-tards.
Y'all love y'all some Donald Trump.
Here they come. Dun, 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 dun. MAGA-tards come here like the stormtroopers in Star Wars. They come raining on for real. As soon as you
all right, blow it up a little bit more.
As soon as you start talking about MAGA. Here we go.
I blew it up. I blew it up big right there. So now y'all look at that picture. That's Jeffrey Epstein. That's Trump posted this on his Truth Social. This is him. What is that in the background? That's demons coming out the back. So he removed the soldiers that was originally there and put demons in the back. And he posted himself as, he said he's a he said this is him as a doctor. And he's healing Jeffrey Epstein on the bed. That's crazy to me. That's y'all that's y'all beloved MAGA. That's y'all beloved MAGA. That's y'all MAGA God right there.
Disgusting.
MAGA God. That's y'all MAGA God, though.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting.
It's your boy. He said Trump should replace the Pope.
This is absolutely disgusting. You make me want to vomit.
That's your boy right there. We don't give a shit about the Pope or this guy. They both, listen, man.
If y'all think that's Epstein in that picture, press 111. If that's Epstein in the bed that Trump healing.
Yeah,
do that look like Epstein? If y'all think that looks like Epstein laying in that bed, press 111. If y'all think that literally got the gray hair like him, got the lips, the nose, Epstein, the ears, that's Epstein.
Yeah, that's literally Epstein right there. That's crazy. See how they play in our faces though? There they get to play in our faces. We don't do shit about it.
And Trump posted this.
And Trump posted
this, y'all. Didn't they just cancel? Didn't they just cancel? What what's his name, Russell, for saying
Yeah, right.
Epstein was heaven sent. Then they
Yeah,
just
they canceled Russell crazy. Like they canceled
then they
Russell.
cancel him for saying
Yeah, he ran off
Epstein was heaven sent. So Trump is basically saying Epstein is heaven sent because he's literally the Christ.
Yeah,
Trump portraying himself as the Christ over the bed of Epstein with healing hands and the heavens opening up. He's basically saying Epstein is heaven sent and he's heaven sent. This is insane, bro.
yeah. Russell said Hitler was heaven sent. Trump was heaven sent. Epstein was heaven sent. He got canceled by the culture to the point where he deleted all his social medias. But meanwhile, Trump get to post himself as Jesus healing Jeffrey Epstein, and nothing happens to him. Like nothing. And he's mocking Christians. Like that's crazy that a lot of y'all MAGAs are Christians and y'all still praise this guy, and he's mocking your religion.
Yep.
But y'all praise. But listen, that's y'all man. That's y'all mans in them. That's y'all mans in them up there at the White House. That's y'all mans in them.
Oh, it's humor. Somebody said it's called. Oh, it's humor when Trump do it. Oh, that must be a magatard. Everybody else get canceled for stuff like
Hold on. It's humor though, but nobody's laughing.
Yeah, that's bad. That's poor humor right there.
Yeah, nobody's laughing though. That's
not funny to have Epstein laying in bed right there and Trump as Jesus. That's not humor.
Let's see if Trump laughing about it. Let's see what his reply is once again.
That picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ.
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
That's your homeboy. He's a doctor, y'all.
He didn't pass it off as.
Yeah, he didn't pass it off as humor. Yeah, he damn sure didn't.
Nope. He was dead serious with this picture. That's Epstein on the bed, yo. That's Epstein laying on the bed and Trump standing over him. Basically saying he healed the Epstein situation. He made sure nobody got exposed. He's the savior of the Epstein files not being leaked to where it'll basically implicate even probably people from the Catholic Church. He's letting them know, remember that. Look at him. Look, let's examine this picture of what it is. That's what it is. You got Epstein on the bed, unconscious. You got Trump like the savior. He's the savior, basically.
Right.
And he's got the healing hands on Epstein. Basically letting his
Epstein.
Yep, the forehead of Epstein letting his cronies know that he's on top of the situation and he's basically the savior because Christ represents the savior. So he's saving everybody from being exposed through the Epstein files. His cronies, because nobody's going to jail. That's why. And remember, recently he just fired Pam Bondi. Remember, he just fired Pam Bondi and then replaced her with Tom Blanche. And Blanche, the first day Blanche took office, first day Blanche took over, he said he's not examining the Epstein files no more. No one else is getting arrested behind Epstein. He's shutting the whole Epstein stuff down. Soon as he got in there, I am shutting the Epstein stuff down. And that's under the orders of Donald Trump.
The Pam Bondi didn't want the responsibility of shutting the Epstein files down because you know that she's like, well, I don't want to take that heat. I'll just fire myself. Well, I mean, it looked like she was fired, but she didn't
I'll
want to take the
resign.
responsibility. Yeah, she didn't want to take the responsibility or taking the heat for
Basically.
saying that we're no longer investigating the Epstein files. So they put Ty Blanche in there to do it. Yeah, he said he'll take the heat. He'll take the heat. No, y'all, they hate their beloved MAGA getting arrested. They beloved MAGA God.
McTard. Here they come. Dun, 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 dun. Dum 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 da dum dum da dum. Dum 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 da dum MAGA tarts. Here come the MAGA tarts.
Look, somebody said, I'm deleting this channel. Well, you gotta delete yourself, buddy. I mean, you really just gotta delete yourself. I feel like Mike Tyson though. What Mike Tyson saying that point? What he
You
say?
have a problem? Turn off your station.
Off.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I feel like Mike Tyson's feel. If you don't like it, turn off your station. They mad. They mad because they beloved Trump up there posting himself as Jesus healing Jeffrey Epstein. They mad at us. Hey man, be mad at him. He the one up there mocking Christianity. Don't come in here mad at us. He went up there mocking Christianity. Look, Trump posted this and said he thought of himself as a doctor healing people. And he's dressed like Jesus healing Jeffrey Epstein. That's your beloved president. He the one posted this. Don't be mad at us. They coming in mad because Trump posted this shit. And y'all coming in mad at us. Right. They mad as hell because he posted this shit.
Dun, 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 dun.
Like a loser. Slackers.
Dum dum dum. Dum da dum dum da dum. Cause you're the two who can't stop talking about it.
Hey, that's why I'm gonna keep. That's why you always gonna be mad.
Hey, Kevin Grew, you love MAGA? You love MAGA, Kevin? Kevin Grew. Do you love MAGA? Tell me you love MAGA. Say I love MAGA.
I love MAGA.
I love MAGA. MAGA, I love you, MAGA.
They love some Donald Trump.
They love MAGA.
You can't stop talking about it. That damn right. You don't stop talking about it. So what?
I love MAGA.
Y'all don't tell the mainstream media to stop talking about that shit all the time. They put that shit on loop and play it all day. Y'all don't tell mainstream media that. Y'all love y'all mainstream media channels. As soon as somebody point out the bullshit, y'all be mad. Like, yo, don't shatter my reality. I think this is real. Don't shatter my reality by trying to wake me up with the real shit. I don't want to hear that right now, dude. I love MAGA, dude. Dude, I didn't want to be woke up, dude. I wanted to stay asleep, dude. I believe everything they say, dude. I love MAGA, dude. I love the libs, dude. I love the repubs, dude. Please don't shatter my beloved reality, dude. Yo, come on, man. Y'all gotta be more aware of what's going on. Somebody, you give black people a bad name. Nah, Trump give America a bad name. How about that? How about that? Trump give America a bad name.
The left.
How about that?
Somebody here talking about the left. Oh, and libtards, you're not spared either. Cause if Kamala Harris, aka the laughing hyena, if she would have been just as bad. It was just as bad when Sleepy Joe Biden was in there too. Don't even talk about Hillary. We don't even want to talk about Hillary. And in that Obama character, I mean Barry Sartoro and his husband, wife, Michael.
Husband, wife, hubby, wife.
his hubby wife, Michael. Yeah, we don't want to talk about F both the left and the right. Both are corrupt. It don't matter. It ain't no more lesser evil. 2026, it ain't no more lesser evil out there. They all wicked. There's no more left or right. All that shit is corrupt. All of it is corrupt. It don't matter who's in there. That national debt is still going up to crazy numbers. 39 trillion. Money still being sent over there to Israel from every administration, rather Democrat or Republican, and they're using it for mass genocide. So we ain't even trying to hear it. MAGA-tards, libtards, Q-tards. Don't think I forgot about y'all Q-tards. And they been dwindled. Our population is way low now because they see that all that was bullshit. Trump wasn't in there draining no swamp. Like I say all the time, he was Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing ain't gonna drain his own swamp.
Oh,
You know what
Trump
I'm
think
saying? So
Trump posted this shit, so I guess he think he gonna be the first one to put the Trump towers on the moon and shit. That's funny as hell. They were there posting shit like this. Yeah, they're posting this shit. Oh, let me pull this up. Trump posted this earlier. A Trump tower on the moon and shit. You know what they said? They said they went up there to bury the real Epstein files. They said that trip to the moon was just to go up there and bury the Epstein file. That's funny as
that's
shit.
funny.
They
That's
literally got
crazy.
picture, an AI picture of them digging up the dirt and burying the Epstein files on the moon and shit. The real Epstein files. That's funny as hell. But yeah, Trump posted this earlier, like he gonna be the first one to put the Trump towers on the moon and shit. That's y'all MAGA, man.
That dude's way too arrogant.
Yeah, he just in there as political theater at this point.
Facts.
Yeah, he's a 100% actor. I really can't believe none of that shit that come out of his mouth or anything he does. He's just up there acting.
And Sleepy Joe was just as bad. You ain't know what the fuck Sleepy Joe was talking about.
Yeah,
Sleepy
he
Joe
was out
didn't even know he was the president half the time.
Right. Yeah, his ass was ghost. His mind was gone.
And then his VP, the laughing hyena, she was a joke too.
We did it, Joe. The president of the United States. All right. Yeah, we did it, Joe. She ditzy ass, bro. But yeah, it is what it is. Don't come in here mad at us. We didn't do it. Trump did it. It's Trump's fault, y'all. It's Donald Trump's fault.
Look what somebody said. Look what a MAGA-tard said.
A MAGA-tard.
They said, hold on. Hold on. Man, where'd it go? Yep. Go Trump, fight the elite, the left and the Islamists. Take America back to how it was before Obama. Do you know how it was just as bad before Obama? What was that? Bush? Bush was before Obama?
Yeah, they went into Iraq under the fake pretense of weapons of mass destruction.
That was 2000, bro. That was from 2007 to 2008. That was literally during a recession. The economy had collapsed around that time too. And we was in Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction, bombing everybody up over there, and they didn't find no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. None. Zero weapons of mass destruction. That was Bush's whole campaign, was invading Iraq for weapons of mass destruction, and there was no weapons of mass destruction over there. And I don't think that Obama was any better now. Don't libtards? You do not get it. Obama was over there killing Gaddafi, bombing up the Middle East with drone strikes every other day. He was just as bad. It's just they never talked about that side of the media. And then you had all the corruption with Hillary Clinton around the time that Obama was in office. So we don't even want to talk about any of these clowns, left or right. There is no more lesser evil. Both sides are corrupt as hell. And shit was no better before Obama got in there. Shit was fucked up when Bush was in there. World Trade Center happened during Bush. The economic collapse happened during Bush / Obama. It kicked off with Bush and it ended with Obama. But no, it didn't really end because we still fucked up.
Yeah.
As
All
far
right,
as
so
the
let me
economy
read this
is.
off. So the same pattern here. They use the same pattern. So all right, so the following. So let me read this off. This is why I just put in a search. So following 2003, the invasion of Iraq, extensive searches by the U.S.-led Iraq Survey Group, the ISG, concluded that Saddam Hussein did not possess stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction or active production programs. The official 2005 Dofer report found that Iraq's prohibited weapons capabilities were largely dismantled back in 1991, with intelligence on active programs being flawed and misrepresented. So, like we said, they go into there with this fake ass narrative to get us to support and back these wars.
Mm-hmm.
Saddam Hussein, they already been inspected. There was no weapons of mass destruction found, or did he have any programs to build mass destruction weapons, right? So let's fast forward. Once again, now I'm gonna type this in. Does Iran possess nuclear weapons? Okay, so all right, based on the current international assessment of the early 2006, Iran does not possess nuclear weapons and is not currently believed to see. That's why they listen. Mainstream media, y'all doing a poor job for real, because what y'all spewing is not the truth at all. What they spewing is not the truth. What our politicians and shit is a spew, because they already did the inspection. The international people that does the inspection to make sure they don't possess nuclear weapons already came out. The reports is out there that Iran does not possess nuclear weapons and is not currently believed to be pursuing a formal weapons program. However, they have developed advanced nuclear technology. That's what they're stockpiling uranium to basically power their power plants, not to build weapons. That's what they discovered when they did the investigation. So it's the same pattern here. They went into Iraq with the excuse that Saddam Hussein was stockpiling weapons of mass destruction. They went over there, they investigated, didn't find one bomb, one weapon of mass destruction. Now Iraq, fast forward, Iran, they haven't found no nuclear. But you know who do possess nuclear? America, Israel. How you going to investigate other countries for some shit you already got? You seeing a hypocrisy in that? This country is the only country that ever dropped a nuke on fucking Japan and shit. In history, this is the only country that ever used a nuclear bomb. Drop that shit on Japan. And we trying to go around police the world about nuclear weapons when we the only country that ever used one. Y'all see the hypocrisy in that shit? Y'all crazy, man.
Slackers.
No one ever brings that up though. When they be questioning these politicians that be supporting this shit, they never bring up the fact that America used a nuclear weapon against Japan.
And this is what the people do. The left did it. No, the right did it. No, the left did it. No, the right did it. No, it was Obama. No, it was Trump. No, it was Obama. No, it was Trump. No, it was Biden. No, it was Trump. No, it was Bush. No, it was Obama. That's all y'all do. when it was all parties, y'all all right. They all bullshitters. Trump, Obama, Biden, Hillary, Bill, all of them. All a bunch of bullshitters. Y'all all right. The left side is right and the right side is right. Y'all both right when y'all come to calling out each other's bullshit.
So I typed this in, right? So, you know me, I'm always searching, right? So
no more lesser evil.
So does America have nuclear weapons? Yes. United States possess a large nuclear arsenal, which estimated the total inventory of 5,177 warheads as of January of 2025. This arsenal includes deployed strategic missiles, submarines, and bombers, alongside stored with weapons of those awaiting to dismantle, maintaining the second largest nuclear stockpile in the world after Russia. Do you hear what I just said to y'all? So they're going over there and messing with a country about some nuclear weapons, and we got them stockpiled. We got nuclear weapons stockpiled up. That's crazy.
We got nuclear weapons out the ass.
That's crazy.
Silos all over this motherfucker.
It's crazy.
We got nuclear weapons out the ass in the United States. Israel got nuclear weapons too.
We ain't done yet. Yeah, I was about to go there. Does Israel have nuclear weapons? Yes, Israel is largely believed to possess nuclear arsenal estimated around 80 to 90 warheads. Though it maintains a long-standing policy of nuclear opacity, neither confirming nor denying their existence, it is considered that the only nuclear armed state in the Middle East, having developed a capability by the late 1960s. So why are y'all fucking with Iran, and y'all have nukes your goddamn self? This is y'all see the hypocrisy? Yo, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. This is insane. In the
magatards and them will say, hey, you guys, this is stupid arguments, guys. We shouldn't talk about this. We just need to be talking about how this is the greatest country in the world because of Trump. We love Trump. Magatards.
So the weapons are believed to be produced at the Najeeb Nuclear Research Center near Dimona. That's where their nuclear weapons are being built, made at. So they have a nuclear system. They have a nuclear production center and all that, just like America does. But Iran doesn't have one. They don't have a facility where they're building nuclear weapons, and they don't have any stockpiles of nuclear weapons. They already been investigated.
Sounds familiar, right? When they attacked Iraq for weapons of mass destruction. And you know how much money those companies, you know, those private sector companies made during the Iraq war and all of that, Afghanistan war, Hollenberg and all them fucking companies with the military contracts. If you dig deep enough, you'll see a lot of those people who own those companies were basically related to Bush and Cheney. Right. So they made a killing. They made a killing off all that money. They made a killing off all that money. They love making money off of war. Ooh, they love it. They love war. See, they get to knock out all these different birds with one stone when they do war. They get their blood sacrifices when they send our kids over there to die. You know, they get all the money from the budget because, you know, they convince Congress to give them all this money so they can go and fight these wars, so it can go to their private contractor buddies who got, you know, companies that make weapons, companies that make military uniforms, companies that make barracks, companies that make, you know, the submarines and all that in the chips and the, like they make so much money, and it'd be most of them be private contractors that these politicians own the companies on the low.
So let me read this off because you made a big point here. It says war acts as lucrative, high demand industries for defense contractors, private security firms, logistic companies on all sides. Known as the military industrial complex, the system sees massive government spending on weapons in reconstruction during the conflicts, benefiting corporations. Let me highlight benefiting corporations and at times influence policy while driving profits for specific sectors. War is often considered economically efficient for nations overall due to debt and destruction. All right. Okay. Defense contractors profit. Companies supplying weapons see a surge demand with over 14 trillion in Pentagon spending since 9/11, heavily favoring defense contractors. So 14 trillion of that debt went to the Pentagon. And guess what the Pentagon did, y'all? Guess where that money went? They walked that money out the back door. They've been audited 7 times and they don't even know where the money went. That means somebody is stealing. Let me type that in for y'all. Hold on. The Pentagon
Still in
audited.
trillion.
Pentagon
Trillion.
audited.
Where we at? 39 trillion in debt, in national debt. This explains why a
Yep.
lot of stealing is going on. A lot of money that's unaccounted for.
So all right, here we go. The Pentagon has undergone 8 annual department-wide financial audits since 2018, failing every single one. Y'all hear that? Pentagon has undergone 8 annual department-wide financial audits since 2018, and they failed every last single one of them. They stole the money and walked it out the back of the Pentagon, and we still fighting amongst each other. Y'all stupid. Y'all stupid voting for these parties. Y'all stupid. They walked all that money out, all that 14 trillion, they walked out the back door of the Pentagon. Y'all stupid. Y'all want to come here and fight with us. Y'all stupid. Let me finish reading this shit, bro. The Pentagon undergoing 8 annual department-wide financial audits since 2018, failing every single one as the only major federal agency never to pass. They're the only ones that never passed the audit. The Department of Defense has consistently received disclaimer in opinion, meaning the auditors could not verify the accuracy of its financial statements due to significant let me go down. All right, so it says, all right, so the audit streak, Pentagon failed 8 consecutive audits since December of 2025. Key findings, auditors found 26 material weakness and 2 significant deficiencies in the FY 2025 audit, including issues with tracking equipment, the F-35 program. So they have a problem tracking the equipment. The equipment has been stolen. It's gone. Future goals, despite failures, Congress mandated the clean audit goal by 2028. Background, although required Congress started 2018, the DOD never achieved a clean audit, which was formally required by the Chief Financial Officer of the Act of 1990.
The trick is it was never no equipment. The equipment was they act like it was equipment, marked it down as equipment, and just walked the money out the back door.
8
Pocketed it.
audits, bro. They've been audited 8 times and they haven't tracked where the spending had went at all. They failed every 8 auditors that so they basically walked that money straight out the back door of the Pentagon. 14 trillion gone, stolen. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And people don't even they don't pay attention to that shit.
The United States government is the most rogue government on the planet right now. It's 100% rogue. All of our politicians are compromised.
And they want to come after us when we owe the government a
All
little
of them.
sleazy couple $1,000. They want to be coming after citizens when they be owing a couple little thousand or a couple little million here and there. They want to, but they ain't going after the fucking Pentagon that failed 8 audits in a row, 7 to 8 audits in a row. It's crazy. But they want to still squeeze American citizens for every penny they got. Okay. Yeah. 14 trillion, bro. That's what they said it gave since that's what they gave the Pentagon. $14 trillion. That's almost half of the debt. That's almost half of the debt.
And y'all still got trust in this government, huh? Whether Democrat or Republican. Y'all still got trust. Y'all still believe y'all favorite politicians is on your side, huh? That's delusional. That's some people are so far gone.
Let me put they
Like
God
they're so far gone.
put your God back
Put
up
they
there.
God, yeah, put they God back up there.
And that's your God right there. Donald Jesus Trump. That's what the J stand for Jesus. There you go. That's your man's right there. Donald
Moving
Jesus Trump.
slacker.
Putting healing hands on Jeffrey Epstein is crazy. That when I still look at that, I'm like, damn, he really posted this picture on True Social of healing hands on Jeffrey Epstein's forehead. That's crazy to
He
me.
admitted to posting this picture, bro.
That's your
He
that's your
admitted
man.
to it.
That's your guy.
He didn't even say somebody else was playing on his account and sent that. He
Nah, he
literally
ain't gonna say
said
that.
he did it. He said he did it himself. That's crazy. And he's claiming that he's not depicted as Jesus in this picture. Well, that's clearly him depicted as Jesus in this picture. Wow.
He said I'm doctor. He said Dr. J. Trump.
From the Red Cross, huh?
That nigga said the Red Cross. That's funny as hell.
That's what he said. He said this. These are the words that came out of that man's mouth. He's a doctor from the Red Cross, and he heals people. And he heals people. That's that's basically what he said. That's
There you
insane,
go.
man. People, is that a Magatar talking? Y'all stupid, bro. Shut the f up. Why are you even on my feed? Cock block. Go after Brobama. Go after Brobama.
Bro Obama. Bro Obama. That's funny
We
as
don't
shit.
give a shit about. We don't give a fuck about Barry Sarturo neither.
Yeah, you
Or your
saying the
beloved,
wrong
or
name.
your
His name
beloved
is
Trump.
Barry.
Yeah.
His name is Barry Santoro, not Obama. Obama is a CIA stage name.
Name. Yep, that's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name. That's his
Obama
name.
Osama.
CIA agent.
His middle name got a nerve to be Hussein at that. Then they go after
Right.
Saddam Hussein, and then they put a Hussein in office right after that. That's how they play with us. That's how they play on our top.
These are jokes on
They
us.
they they supposedly hang Saddam Hussein on TV, and then they put a Hussein in office. That's crazy. That's his middle name is Hussein, but we all know that's just a CIA handle. His real name is Barry Santoro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was and his mama was married to some type of some Latin guy that basically adopted him as his father. But that could be a made up story too with this guy. That could be made up.
All of it can be made up. Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it
when
could
you
be
dealing
made
with
up.
CIA agents, they have double, triple identities and shit. They have multiple identities that they go through. So his name might not even be Barry Sortaro. That might even be another cover. Sometimes
Yeah,
they do covers under covers. Because I'm telling you right now, Obama
undercover.
wasn't even yeah. He wasn't even a real character anyway. That was a straight up CIA agent that they put in office.
I
And
mean,
this
well,
Trump character, he's an Israeli agent.
yeah, he's direct Israeli intelligence.
Right.
His daddy worked with his daddy was a supporter of
Yep.
Israel then.
Yep. Yep. and did a lot of business with them. He did a lot of business with them.
Yeah, we see it all. Right, that's why I was laughing at. He said covers undercovered. Right. That's what I was that's what I was
Yeah, this
laughing at
motherfucker
too.
got covers,
He
undercovers,
said
bro.
covers undercovered.
He's a cover, and then he go undercover as the cover and shit.
Cover
Yeah, it's
undercover.
crazy. It's crazy.
He said that's a
It's crazy how they operate.
well, you know they gotta have a lie to cover, keep covering up the previous lie. It's lies on top of lies.
Because they literally be a fake. He'll really be an agent with a fake identity, and then go undercover as that fake identity and change his
Yeah.
identity to another identity, and you don't even know who the fucking real person is. So he's under 3 different identities, and undercover under those identities. Like
I got
so you don't know if he's Barry Soetoro.
I
That
gotta
could be
pull
some
this
shit
up.
that's made up too.
I gotta pull this shit up, bro. This type shit they be just look at this shit, bro. I gotta pull this up. Y'all gonna be cracking the fuck up. This motherfucker got DoorDash to the White House. McDonald DoorDash shit. Look at this motherfucker, bro. This nigga got DoorDash coming to bring McDonald's to the White House. That motherfucker got DoorDash.
Who got? Oh, I don't see that, John.
You know what I'm saying? Let me pull it up. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm leaving y'all messed up out here. My bad. Let me bring it back. Motherfucker got
You said it got
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Who, Trump?
Hey,
Trump got
yeah,
DoorDash. That means
hey,
DoorDash gave him a check. He's there to get money.
look,
Getting his money right now.
look at this shit.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
You mean DoorDash?
Nice to meet you. I have your DoorDash order for you.
This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
These are good. DoorDash is doing a good job. So
Oh shit, that's McDonald's
the reason
themselves,
for
huh?
this is the fact that I heard you
That's DoorDash.
picked up an extra $11,000 that you didn't get because the tax bill was so big. The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
It definitely was. Yeah, I saved over $11,000 by not having to claim.
Was that surprising to you?
It was very surprising. Very
A
surprising.
great big beautiful bill. And that doesn't include overtime in your case. This is only just based on what we did in terms of every other aspect of the tax bill, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was 11,007.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
that incredible? And that's what it is. The tax cut, it's really, we call it the great big beautiful bill. We should call it the great big beautiful tax cut bill because it's a tremendous amount of money. And
This
that's
is
overtime. It's also on
political
Social Security, as you know.
Yes.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it
And
is.
you're really nice. Would you like to do a little news conference with me and these people? These are not the nicest people. They're not nice like you. You know that, right?
I'll do whatever you ask me to do, sir.
So the no tax on tips is something special, right?
It's very special.
And that's the one that really pertains to you more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
It's fantastic. It's so such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me, didn't you?
Maybe.
Yeah. I heard you're a great supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely a skit. Yeah, this shit is all it's all theater. Like this only works on weak-minded people who don't understand psychological warfare.
Right. Only thing that's real is him eating that goddamn McDonald's. He definitely can go ahead and fuck that shit up in the back. He definitely gonna put that shit on the Oval Office and chow down on it. He a McDonald's eating motherfucker. But damn, the DoorDash, like damn, they getting all types of stage stunts out here, right?
It's crazy.
And like yeah, he gonna answer the door himself and shit. Just like he was working through the McDonald's drive-through for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's gonna answer the door, talk politics with the delivery person. Yeah. Well, we know this is a skit.
It's crazy. Just like him and doing the Elon Musk doing a Tesla commercial in front of the White House with Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah, right. He got a check for that.
Wow.
Yeah, this shit is over, y'all. It's over.
Well,
We
make sure
keep
y'all
allowing
support
this.
90herbals.com, a real business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our small business, 90herbals.com, where we sell nothing but natural herbal products. Make sure y'all support our business. Enough of this corporation shit. They get enough of our tax-paying dollars. And you see what I read earlier. And look, a lot of these corporations is benefiting off the war. Meanwhile, moms and pops stores are struggling, going out of business because it got to be some type of shift, man. People got to shift the power back into the people. Like I don't know, we didn't give corporations and these people all this power to basically do what they want, and then they shit in our faces by this Epstein files, and it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But that's what it's the people love. But anyway, like you said, 90herbals.com. Make sure y'all check us out on Google too. If y'all want, Google us on in your Google browser. Put in 90 Network LLC. You'll see everything pop up. You'll see our herbal shop pop up. All our social medias will pop up as well. Then you can look out. We've been in business for 7 years with our herbal shop selling natural herbal products. Let me pull it up. 90 Network LLC on the Google browser, or you can simply type in 90herbals.com. All right, let me pull this up.
Check us out.
Make sure y'all hit over here and check out our herbal website. Make sure y'all sign up, join the email list too. Y'all can join the newsletter. We send out discounts and all that through the newsletter as well. Yeah, you can pretty much just sign up, get $5 off. Your first time visitors, you can subscribe and save $5 off on your first purchase as well. So we got we got stuff on here for pain. We got the 9-day CBD pain balm that helps instantly with pain. You person that deal with joint pains and this stuff works instantly. So all our CBD and our products our herbs and stuff is grown in Omnish Farm in Lancaster, PA. Our CBD cigarettes, our pre-rolls, our vapes, and all that. Everything is natural herbs. Make sure y'all check us out over here at 90herbals.com. We got the sea moss on here too, as well. So we got lotion and soaps. Beard moisturizer for men. Hair growth serum for women. We got the rose water. Yeah, check us out. 90herbals.com. Make sure y'all come over here and support our shop. We sponsor our own videos with our own products. And we also work with other entrepreneurs that make natural herbal products. Everything is limited because it's not mass produced. So you gotta understand this stuff does run out fast because it's high quality, and it runs out fast because people, we don't make a lot of it because it's not mass produced like corporations do. They mass produce a lot of their products and put fillers in it, and you really don't get no benefits out of that. But yeah, it's 90 herbals. The links in the description of this video and pinned to the chat. Like I said, you can also hit the QR code in the corner, on the right hand corner, or you could just simply type us in Google. You'll see us pop up 5 stars on Google. 90 Network LLC. When you just put us in the search, you will see us pop right up. So we appreciate y'all tuning in.
We appreciate everybody who been ordering from a lot of orders that we getting out this week. So definitely look for your orders this week. If you ordered last week. So we definitely appreciate y'all for the support. And those of y'all who've been just subscribed to us, make sure you click all notifications on so y'all be notified when we go live.
Facts. All right. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Catch y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe too. If you ain't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Turn on all notifications when we go live, so y'all get y'all first. Get the notifications when we go live or upload content. All right. And y'all can check us out, 90 Day Network, on all platforms. All right. So peace, y'all.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day, it slowed me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. Now I can clean my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. And this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. It feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
Comfort slows you down. Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp Balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.